What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning into the Redzone today. Just remember, whenever you're close to the end zone, you're in the red zone. I'm your host, Griffin Batt. I'm here with the boys. Let's talk sports. All right, ready? Let's jump right into it. Jumping right into it, we got a huge show for today. We got Mac Hereford coming on the show. He's going to do the whole show with us. Going to give us a lot of key, great opinions. So without further ado or whatever, let's bring on Mac. Welcoming to the show, the Red Zone's second ever guest, former Alabama wide receiver, friend of the show, social media influencer, Vanderbilt wide receiver, the man, the myth, the legend, Mac Hereford. Mac, let's go.
Let's go, baby.
It, boys.
Yes,
I'm happy
sir.
to be on the show. We're ready to tear it up today, so let's do it.
This is awesome. Well, we appreciate the heck out of you. Thanks for coming on today. And we're gonna start with some questions for you. And Dane, take it away.
All right, Mac. So the media doesn't really get a lot of insight from your former coach, Nick Saban. He's kind of not revealing is definitely not the word for him to the public. So my question for you is, what are some things that the public, we wouldn't know about Nick Saban?
I would say that, he laughs more and smiles more than people think, and closed doors. There's times where he's cracking jokes with the players, whether it be in like film, like in film, a lot of times, like if a guy does like a celebration after like getting a touchdown or something, like, I don't want to say like the exact words, but like, he'll make fun of him a little bit and give him like throw some shade at him. Like Garrett Dieter, my freshman year, came from Bowling Green, and he was a wide receiver at Alabama. Caught a ball, went up to the fans and did like a number one at the fans and stuff. And Saban was like, "Dude, you don't have any fans at Bowling Green." He's like, "Don't cheer at the fans, cheer with your teammates." And like people were just like dying laughing in the meeting room. And so that's one thing I think, like, for sure, like everyone in the media and like people just portray him as this like mean guy. Like he's not always just like this serious, like mean guy. He can loosen up some. It's just, a little bit more rare.
So Mac, as we all know, you grew up a huge Alabama fan, dreaming of playing at Alabama one day. So what's it like being able to accomplish your dream and live it out?
Yeah. So like you were saying, when I was a little kid, it's literally all I wanted to do. I grew up, born and raised in Bama. Call me a Bammer. And my parents
205.
Yeah, that's right, baby. And so like I just grew up wanting to like play for the Tide, went to Tide games when I was like, a little baby. And just loved like the atmosphere and just like that's all I envisioned. Like when kids got asked in class when we were younger, like what do you want to be? Like kids would be like a police officer, like fireman. I was like, I want to be an Alabama football player. Like, thing doesn't make any money. A job doesn't make any money, but it's what I want to be. And then really just like working for that in high school with like waking up every morning, 6 a.m. to throw with my quarterback a workout and just like putting in all the hours and finally getting to see it like come through was pretty awesome. It's a pretty crazy experience, pretty surreal. Don't really know how to like say how, like, it's so crazy. Can't really put it into words, but like the first time running out of the tunnel or like seeing my jersey on the back of a Crimson Tide jersey is pretty special. And I just love that I got there, worked for it, and then, hopefully it can help other people understand that if you want something bad enough, you can go get it,
Yeah,
Sure.
All right, Mac. Obviously being a college athlete is a ton of work, but there's also a lot of rewards to it. So what's the best part about being a college athlete, and what's the hardest part about being one?
I'd say the best part for me is also kind of like one of the hardest, I guess, but it's just the fact that you have people constantly telling you to work out, motivate you, you're staying in shape, eating well, you're doing all these things like keep your body healthy without really having to like motivate yourself. I'm not saying I couldn't do it without these coaches and stuff, but it's really nice to have, good schedule, a lot of great friends. That's one of the things too, I'd say, is like just the teammates that are my friends. Like such good guys and the opportunity to meet people from all different backgrounds. Hardest part or toughest part is probably just like managing social and athletic stuff with academics and just like trying to be able to juggle all these things at once. Definitely takes a toll on you, and feel like sometimes some people feel like they miss out on things. I really didn't feel like I missed out on anything, but a lot of people think they miss out on different activities like social stuff because of football.
But if anything, you get a bit better college experience with football because you build relationships that will last for life.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. That's what I think, like, in football, you're not making relationships through partying and stuff. Like you're making it on the field, grinding practices, getting shoot out together, like hot, like fall camp. Like you said, like that's one of my favorite things. Some of my best friends for life are formed through, playing the sport of football, and I would have never met them if I didn't play football, and so that's definitely one of the special things about it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, my question is, what was your favorite game at Alabama in your entire career?
Yeah, there was a lot of awesome games. I'd say that my favorite one was my freshman year. We played Washington in the playoffs. Let's see, the first playoff game. Yeah, first playoff game. And, it was my freshman year. It was, like, really hype. It was awesome. Got to do a ton of fun things in Atlanta for that playoff week. And then go to the game. We just played a solid game, worked really hard that week in practice. And then it was awesome because my brother was a senior at the time and went to Alabama. And, like, I have a couple of brothers, but this just one of them was a senior. Loved Alabama football, was a part of a group called the Capstone Group at Alabama, which is like tour guides. Like they help, or not tour guides, but they help out with like, I think they do tour people around campus. Yeah, they do. They help people with all the school stuff, like pretty cool group. And that group gets to sit in the front row, at the playoff games, I think, and maybe even the Natty. But so I was looking around the stadium at the end and I see him, he's wearing this like red jacket and I see him in the stands and he's like pointing at me and stuff out of the game. And like, I love my brothers. I love my family. So it's like getting to see him in the stands and then the game finishes. I was like, screw it. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I'm going to run over, like ran and jump up to see him in the stands. And like, I put a little video up that y'all might have seen, but when I jumped up to, it was really funny because like most people are like jumping this thing and like landing like right on like sitting down. It looks really athletic. I'm just ran up there and I smacked that wall and they're just pulling me up. They're having to pull me up, all of his friends. And they're like, it was uncomfortable, but then like, it was just awesome moment being with my brother, getting to celebrate that time and like him knowing all the work I put in and, just capitalizing a great freshman year.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Well, I'll jump right into we have a lot of Alabama questions. I think we'll get into Vanderbilt later, but Ramon, what are some of your best memories from Alabama? I think you just said one of your best games or your best experience in a game, but what are some of your like off the field best memories with Alabama?
Yeah. So that was one of them clearly. And then I'd say, gosh, this is tough. I need to think about this for a second. A lot of good memories. Shoot. I'd say fall camp. It's not necessarily off the field, but one of my favorite memories is I was good buddies with Sean Dion Hamilton, who plays for the Redskins now, linebacker. But we were in fall camp, and it was like, we're required after all fall camp practices to hop in the ice tubs. We got the old-fashioned ice tubs outside ready for us to go with these like little tents. And practice finishes up, and it starts to thunder and lightning. And so a lot of kids have like, the excuse to just skip the ice bath. So they're all running inside. But like, that stuff starts to clear down a little bit. It's still like storming, but not bad. And, we're to like where it's safe to be out there. And Sean D, that's what I call him, Sean D. But Sean Dion and I are out there in the ice tubs, just sitting, and we're like dead. Like my legs are dead. I can't even feel my body. Like just went through a hard fall camp practice, and it's like storming over yonder, like out in the area. And we're just sitting in these ice tubs, and we're just like talking about life and like, football. And like that's the kind of stuff I love. Just like, grinding with your teammates, and you're just dead. You can't move. Like, it's a fun experience. So there's multiple times like that I would say that were pretty awesome. And then just hanging out with my teammates, whether it be like at a barbecue, like we do a little barbecue or something, or go bowling with each other, like anything like that. Definitely an awesome experience.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Well, Mac, I would be mad at myself if I didn't ask you this question. As a huge Dolphins fan, I'm extremely excited that we got Tua. But I was just wondering, what was your relationship like with Tua, and do you think he will be a success in the next level?
Yeah, so Tua was a friend of mine. Really cool, great guy. He holds himself well around campus, just doing the right things. Faithful guy, and being around him at practice was really cool because he's just a good leader. And I mean, of course, he can sling that pigskin. Like he throws darts. So I think he'll be awesome for the Dolphins. I think they got a really good pick with him. I mean, like with most Alabama players, you're getting a guy whose character is pretty high. And you're not gonna have to worry about literally anything off field. Like Tua's just got to stay injury free. And I mean, Dolphins are gonna go do it big. You also got Raekwon Davis though. Will, don't sleep on him.
Oh yeah, Raekwon Davis. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be good.
Yeah, I think he'll be solid.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got a few questions about your TikToks, and that's when I first saw you. And I mean you're pretty big on the social media stuff. So let's talk some TikToks. My favorite TikTok. I really want to hear about this story when you got the Papa John's and Pizza Hut. How did that happen? That was so funny when I saw that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really want to spoil anything here, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There might have been some things of that in that video that were not completely true. It might have been fake. I don't want to say completely it was fake, but it might have been fake. So I mean, that's just out there. I'm not gonna say, it was or wasn't. I'm gonna let that up to you guys. But it's a thought that I would like to put out there for sure. Had some good buddies come up with that idea. And I literally just filmed it. I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever done. Like, this is so dumb. Like, and then the next day, my phone for 3 straight days is just notifications. And I can't, like, the app is like glitched. I was like, what the heck? Like,
it says 99 plus.
Yeah. Freaking T-Mobile hits me up on Twitter and asking me if they can use my video. And then I had like these like accounts and stuff like emailing me asking if they could have like rights to my video. And my dad, I'm like, Dad, what do I do? Like, what is going on here? Like, I mean, it was wild.
That's so funny because we have our own TikTok famous star. Clay is become TikTok famous. 1.4 million views on his last video.
Go Clay.
Yeah.
Will and I, that's actually a funny story too. Will was like the other night, he's like, hey, let's tell that story that we used to joke around with or whatever. I don't know where actually I learned that from Cole Stout. He used to play quarterback at Clemson. He's like, let's tell that story, it'll blow up. And I was like, Will, I'm tired, I don't really want to do this right now. And then he's like, just do it with me. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll do it. And we were going to post it on his account, but his phone was in the other room. And I was like, here, just use my phone. And next thing you know, it's like 25,000 views, 50,000 views, 100,000 views. And now it's like 1.4 million or something. I had like 2,000 followers in like the day before, and now I'm at like 22,000.
Oh my gosh, that's wild. Yeah, that's what I was wondering what that was. I didn't know if it was like a voice recording or what.
Yeah, no,
I was like, what? And then I found out it was y'all talking. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I know.
And speaking of Will, he told me I had to ask you a question. He said, Will's a big Raiders fan because his boy Hunter plays out there. And he said, I had to ask you if the Raiders made the right choice picking Ruggs over Judy.
I wouldn't say there's like a wrong or right choice with either of those guys because like it's Ruggs and Judy, they're both raw. But I would say, I mean, I can't like. Nations, I got that. We not. But there's not, like I said, there's not a wrong or right answer with that. Like I think that Judy is more of what I like to call like a creator in the sport. Like he's, the moves he's making up, the things he's doing, you don't really see before. So they're different. That's what I'd say. It's like it's different, and it's whether you look at something else. You value what you value more. So with Ruggs, like I could see the Raiders valuing, I'm guessing, speed and just athletic ability when it comes to just hops, straight speed. Whereas Judy, you're looking at a guy who, like I said, is a creator. I compare him like a Michael Jordan of like football. Like he's doing moves and stuff that you never see other people do. And he's making them up. I'm like, what the heck? Like he comes off the field and he's like, yeah, I just did this. And I'm like, what the, like, I honestly do not have any idea what you just did, but I'm glad it worked. And like, I'm like, I don't know why you would run backwards and in 3 circles and then a touchdown, but like, look, you're doing it. You're doing it. So yeah, I wouldn't say that they made like a wrong or right pick. I think that like they would have gone right either way, and by picking one of those 2 guys. And I mean, a lot of people were shocked, but either one of them would do great in that program. And I think it's awesome. Like I think Ruggs will do really well there too.
Yeah, for sure.
So I said we were going to talk about Vandy, so I think we should transition into some Vanderbilt talk. So you will be playing your 5th year of eligibility at Vanderbilt, getting your master's, correct?
Correct.
So what was the recruiting experience when you decided to transfer, like, and how does that all work? Because I have no clue how that works.
Yeah, I had no clue too, honestly. So like the first step of the process is I have to go and get a release from Coach Saban. So I just have to bring him papers and let him know that I'm like, I'm out. And like, it wasn't anything personal, obviously. It's like, it's easy as a grad transfer and there's no like feelings attached usually with that because, I put in my time. I played for 4 years. I gave the program all I had. And then it was time for me to move on. So I bring that release. He has to sign it. Someone in like the compliance offices has to sign it. And then the next day I'm put into this, like the transfer portal, like, what everyone talks about. I'm put into that. And then coaches are allowed to hit me up. And so I thought, I didn't know what to really think, like if a ton of people would hit me up or no one would hit me up, whatever it would be like. But Vanderbilt hit me up very early. And these coaches are like Twitter messaging me and like trying to get film and just ask different questions. And so like different schools were just messaging me on Twitter or emailing me. Like I had a couple schools that emailed me. And then I just kind of talked to them and figured it out. And it got really hectic as like all this stuff started going on, as y'all can imagine. But it was good because prior to all that, I'd already developed a pretty good relationship with Vanderbilt. And, ended up working out really well.
Now you're a Commodore. So.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, we have your handles here. So if anyone wants to go follow Mac Hereford, you can follow him on Twitter at Mac_Hereford and on TikTok at all one word, Mac Hereford. MACHERE Ford. Yep. So
Ford. Love it.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna hit a commercial break now. Let's talk about body armor. Let's all just talk about body armor for a second because they are the best sports drink. They are the best sports drink for best sports performance with only 120 calories in the one Clay is drinking and 20 calories in this one. So if you're looking to lose weight, 20 calories, it's basically water. It tastes delicious and it's 10% coconut water. All the boys at Redzone drink it. You should too. Go to your local grocery store and pick up some body armor. Body armor!
Let's go.
All right.
Griffin, you look like a pretty fit guy. What's with the low calorie body armor?
Well, I drink a lot of – I don't want to drink as many – I'd rather eat the calories than drink the calories, if you know what I mean.
Griffin's he's a big DN.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Actually linebacker, but –
So someone like Will's trying to like beef up with the body armor.
Yeah. So if you're looking like our friend Boston over here trying to get a little bit of weight, he's drinking the non-light, So,
Absolutely.
Or you can just double up. You can double up light and non-light. So it's whatever you like. But I guess let's jump right into it. Our next question is, which city deserves to have a major sport? So this is all across America. There's tons of cities that need major sports teams. I'll start it off. I think Jackson Hole, Wyoming deserves it.
Oh.
I know. We're going a little loud.
Wow.
But I just had the idea that the population is 10,000 people, roughly 10,000 people that stay there year round. But there's ski resorts in the winter. I mean, there's 30,000 people there on a given weekend. And, 40, 30,000, they've hit 70,000 before. Why not have an NBA team? And when you're out there on the slopes all day, you go to an NBA game at night. I think that's the perfect way the NBA could really market that very well, and do like a vacation package with that. You go ski, you go snowboard, and then you go to a few NBA games.
How many? What was the population of Jackson Hole again?
It's 10,000. It's roughly about 10,000 right now.
So it would only fill up about like half a stadium.
And that's if
half an
everyone,
arena.
Most
If
NBA
everyone
arenas
was-
only are like 16 to 18,000 though.
Yeah,
I would
that's
think.
that's their like summer population. So it's
Okay. Would you want more? I mean, are you going to get enough people to pay for the games if you don't have enough people in the population, Griffin? I hate to break down your argument here, but I'm just bringing up some valid points, man.
Well, I think that when in the winter they're having like 40,000 people there at times.
But what about if they make the playoffs in June and May?
People will
They're
go to
Dunsky.
places where they're playing.
what?
Wyoming is a huge.
I don't know if it could attract the best free agents.
It could.
Yeah,
Wyoming. I've been there. It's beautiful. It could definitely attract. LeBron will be there in a few years if they make the team. He's jumping teams like nothing else.
What would the team be called?
The Mountaineers, maybe. I don't know.
But then you're going to have copyright issues with West Virginia. So what's going on there?
Oh.
That's true.
I
This is
mean,
not the best take now that I hear it.
I'll tell you one, Griffin. Birmingham, Alabama, 205. We need one. We got the Barons. We got a minor league, baseball
RIP
team.
to Birmingham Iron.
Oh, I know. Birmingham, guys, I'm telling you, those games were lit. I'm talking, there's people out there grilling outside the stadium. We didn't even have a good stadium. We're using like a stadium from the 1900s or
Legion
1800s
Field
or something. Yeah, I mean, heck, but people were showing up to the games. I was like, we have a population of 209,000, Griffin. And so that's a little bit more than Wyoming up there. And so we have people to pack out the stands. We've always talked about having these pro sports teams. We've always had like arena football teams and stuff like the Birmingham Bulldogs way back in the day. But, we need a team. I don't care if it's NBA, NFL. We need a team here in the city.
Birmingham would be a great city for a pro sports team.
I appreciate it. I definitely think. Does anyone else have any, input on the Birmingham sports?
Well, I do, because if Birmingham gets a sports team, they don't even have to go hire a trainer. They have Jim Phillips right down the road in Pelham, Alabama.
That's true. That is very true. We have all the resources here in Alabama already for these pro teams, So it's a perfect place. I mean, we got to make it happen, guys. We got to make it happen.
I agree. I like that one better than Wyoming. I'm jumping to Alabama now. I'm jumping to
All right, so when I think of a city that doesn't have a sports team that they need, I think of Seattle and the NBA. Obviously, they had the Sonics there for a while till they up and moved to OKC, but Seattle, one of the most passionate fan bases. You got the 12th man with the Seahawks. They're begging for a basketball team up there. Need one immediately. Adam Silver needs to bring one in, find a buyer. Let's get an NBA team in Seattle.
But they already have an NFL and MLB.
Yeah, but they had an NBA team there before, and they had one of the most passionate fan bases in the whole league.
What happened to the previous NBA team? It was the Sonics, wasn't it?
Yeah, Supersonics.
Yeah.
They decided to move to Oklahoma City for no one really knows the reason why the owner did that, but
yeah. So now they're the Thunder.
Yeah, I think Vegas is a city that could use some more pro sports teams. I know the Raiders just came to Vegas, but the fact that they don't have an NBA or MLB team is kind of shocking to me, given just how big the city is.
Yeah.
Surprised they don't have more.
I think MLB is the dying sport, so I don't know why. I think Las Vegas would be a great place. You can boost numbers up there.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, you talk about visitors in Jackson Hole. I think there's a lot more visitors in Vegas year-round.
I think that's true.
Can't have any noon games. People will be too hungover to go.
Yeah, that's the only thing I worry about for the pro sports being there. I mean, these guys are loaded with money, Hopefully they're not going out and just spending it in ways they shouldn't be. I mean,
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know.
Exactly.
Henry Ruggs.
Well, I think besides Birmingham and, of course, Greenville, South Carolina, we need a team there. But
yeah.
I think the right city is Kansas City. Kansas City, Missouri, home of the Chiefs and the Royals. They need an NBA team. They have one of the most passionate fan bases in all of sports. Arrowhead Stadium is the loudest stadium in the NFL. Its record is 142 decibels. That's pretty dang loud. And even if the Chiefs and Royals are bad, the stadium's always packed. And I already got a name, the KC Tornadoes, because, they have a bunch of tornadoes out there. So make it happen, NBA.
What are decibels? What is that? What's that measurement you threw out there?
It measures sound.
Okay. Just checking in. I've never heard of it, so I need to be educated.
I think Death Valley's been up there a few times,
Bryant-Denny Stadium has a Google amount of them.
So I think that a major city that needs a sports team is Pittsburgh. I mean, they need an NBA team quickly. They have 3 out of the 4 with the Steelers, Pirates, and Penguins. And, I mean, a big population. And, I mean, the fan base there, I think, would definitely be enough to support another major sports team.
Yeah, I like that.
Pittsburgh would be great.
Shout out to Devlin Hodges, Duck Hodges, QB, plays for the Steelers. Great guy.
Duck Hodges, haven't you been working out with him?
Yeah, it's who I've been throwing with on the reg. He just actually went up to Pittsburgh this past weekend. Don't know when it comes back. But we've been throwing him about 3 times a week for about 6 or 7 weeks. He's a legend. He's gonna be the next thing. When Big Ben goes away, it's gonna be Duck Hodges, baby.
How's he been slinging?
Pond. He's been slinging that thing. He's been throwing bullets left and right and sidearm it, regular arm it.
Sanford Bulldog.
That's what I'm saying. Born and raised in the 205.
Oh yeah,
South.
All right, we ready to move on to our next topic, our final topic of the day. For the 2020 season, we will be doing our college football predictions, 4 through 1. Coming in at my number 4 spot, I have South Florida Bulldogs. Not Bulldogs. Jeff Scott's going to take the Bulls all the way to the college football playoff.
These are playoff predictions, right?
Yep.
Wow. In year 1?
Year 1. Michael Cucci is going to do big things this year. Go Bulls.
Okay, well, coming in at my number 4 spot, I don't think they have much competition out there in their conference, and I think they're by far the best team in the Pac-12, and I think the Pac-12 will finally get into the playoff for been a few years now. I got the Oregon Ducks slipping into that 4th spot, and I think they'll have a good year, 12-1, win the Pac-12, and slip in at number 4.
Yeah, I've got Oklahoma. I mean, just like you said with Oregon, I don't think they have anyone that can really compete with them in their conference this coming year. So they always find a way to slip in at the number 4, and I think they'll end up being 0-5 in the playoff when it's all said and done.
All right, I got to swing at my number 4. Spencer Rattler, the next great Oklahoma QB. I believe in him.
No.
I think they'll go either 11-1 or 12-0 with not including the Big 12 championship, but they should have a fairly – I think Big 12 is the worst conference, to be honest. I think they're even worse than the ACC. Just a lack
the
of
ACC is the
competition,
best conference.
lack of defense there. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess I should say they're even worse than the SEC. That garbage conference over there.
That garbage conference that gets the playoffs every year. Yeah, I think the same thing.
I mean, so is the ACC, but
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you and Max, Dane. I think Rattler's gonna put up big numbers this year. Has potential to be a Heisman finalist, but
Wrong.
Oklahoma will definitely lose in the first round of the playoffs again.
You don't think Chandler Morris is going to be the starting quarterback?
Chandler Morris will take Spencer
I do
Rattler's
not.
job.
Chandler.
Mark it down right now. Chandler Morris will be the starting quarterback at Oklahoma.
Let me grab a pencil.
I'm gonna hold you to that one, Clay.
Yeah,
All right.
both of us to that one because I actually really believe in Chandler.
This year, you think he's gonna start this upcoming
I
year?
do.
Not the whole year, but eventually.
He'll
Oh,
start.
okay.
Mac, you gotta take.
Besides, knowing the Vanderbilt Commodores are going all the way, baby. Anchored down. I don't really want to comment on the playoff stuff too much. I don't want to get into that because there could be a lot of feelings hurt out there, especially these ACC fans in here.
Oh,
But I'm just going to keep my opinions and ideas to myself on this one. I'm just going to listen to you guys' thoughts.
Yeah, that's smart. We don't want to cause any legal issues for you. All right, coming in at number 3, I got Alabama. Mac, you used to play there, and like we all know, they're winners. They have a winning culture, and even though they didn't get to where they wanted to be last year, they have a winning culture, and I think they're going to have a huge bounce back year coming in at number 3.
Yeah, I can comment on that, and I just want to say, roll tide to that. Mac Jones is a baller. He's going to impress a ton of y'all at quarterback.
Bryce Young,
He's
you
a
mean?
sniper. No, I don't know. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know this Bryce Young guy.
Mac Jones.
But Mac Jones is a sniper. I used to throw at that guy all the time, and he is a baller. I just want to say that he's going to take Bama to far places next year.
But not beat the Vanderbilt Commodores, for sure.
I don't want to say that. I don't want to talk beef because then in the Alabama locker rooms, they're going to quote me, and they're going to throw it up everywhere on the walls. So I'm not going to give them that ammunition. But just know we're coming.
All right.
Well, coming at my number 3 spot, this one might make Mac a little upset. He's had some run-ins with this team in the past, and honestly, I think this team is gonna win the SEC East and the whole SEC. I got the Georgia Bulldogs coming in at number 3. Jamie Newman, former ACC quarterback. He is a baller. I think he will bring a new life to this offense that Fromm couldn't produce. And, he's a dual threat. And I think Georgia's finally going to get over that hump and win the SEC. And
Yeah, I've got Georgia at 3 too, Clay. I mean, what can I say? I think Jamie Newman, I think the hype is real. I think he's a very talented player. And, yeah, Georgia's going to take the SEC.
What's in that body armor that's so – what's making that? Got to be something in that body armor. Gosh.
Well, I'm not drinking any body armor, and at my number 3, I got Sweet Home Alabama.
Let's go.
I'm not a huge.
You
fan
got
of Alabama.
Auburn?
No. I mean, they might screw around and lose the Iron Bowl again when they shouldn't be, but I still got them making the playoff at the 3 seed. They'll be able to beat Florida in the SEC championship, not Georgia, and they'll be able to slip in at number 3 with a loss. And yeah.
Yeah, Dane,
loss
I've
to
also
who?
got Bama at 3. I think they're just a playoff staple. I think last year was just a fluke for them. They're going to be in the playoffs almost every year, and Georgia's not going to be beating them.
Who's going to win the SEC East, Boston?
Ooh, I want to say Florida just because of their returning talent, but I feel like it's going to be Georgia again. I feel like that Florida-Georgia game, Florida's going to find a way to lose it.
Wrong answer.
What's the right answer? Who's going to win the SEC East?
Like I said, I don't want to say anything, but just know we're coming. Anchor down, baby. Anchor down.
All right.
What number will you be wearing?
Number 16, the 1-6.
Ooh.
That's
Ooh.
swag.
Yeah, they
Number
just had a
of
good
points
receiver.
Alabama scored versus Clemson 2018 national championship.
I didn't know that. That's actually that's cool that you mentioned that. I didn't know that for sure. I'm gonna try to keep that out of my head.
Oh. All right, Griff.
All right, moving on to number 2. I got Ohio State University. I think a lot of people are probably going to have this there. Justin Fields is a winning quarterback. We saw that last year. Ryan Day is not a great coach, but he's an okay coach. He's a good enough coach to get you to the playoff, but not win the whole thing. So that's why I have Ohio State at 2.
Well, Griff, coming in my number 2, I have the Ohio State Buckeyes as well. You know, they have a great team. I'm sure they'll be the best in the Big Ten next year. They're going to have a great season. They're going to win the Big Ten. But they will have a Heisman runner-up, and they will be the runner-up in the national championship game because they just can't get over that hump of beating Clemson. You know, they lost J.K. Dobbins and Chase Young, and Okuda left is Justin Fields.
I think there's a lot of bias there.
No, never.
Let's let everyone say Ohio State, and then we'll let Boston speak on that matter. Go ahead, Max.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Ohio State at 2 also. I mean, I don't see them losing to Michigan ever. And I mean, that's really the
Aren't
only
you a
game that they could
Michigan
really
fan?
blow to.
Do not believe in Michigan.
Ever.
Dude, what is there to believe?
Michigan
What is there to
ever win.
believe in Michigan?
Oh,
We can't out-recruit them.
Oh.
We sure as heck can't out-coach them.
Dane?
All right, yep. Ohio State, number 2. Gonna go
So
0-5 against Clemson all time and just keep getting obliterated. Boston?
All right, Boston.
Well, I think there were a few questionable calls last year in that Ohio State-Clemson game, but I'm not going to speak too much on that. I do have Clemson at my number 2. Just from a talent perspective, I think Ohio State has the edge going into next year, even with losing all those players to the draft. Lawrence and Etienne are going to carry Clemson all the way to number 2.
We got a first-round backfield.
yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, Griff.
For this number 1, I think we'll just raise our hands if we have Clemson winning the national championship.
Matt, raise your hand.
Yeah, Matt, put that up. Perfect. I think we all know why. Boston, go ahead and explain why you don't have Clemson.
I don't have Clemson because Fields is a year older. He's going to be healthy this year. We have a great backfield with Teague and Sermon replacing all the losses on the defense.
That is the one way that you guys actually might win. Master Teague, just a
Heck of a player.
Clemson defense.
And I think we have a lot of really young talent at the receiver position. Our receivers are going to be better than we've seen in a while. So our offense is definitely.
Well, we are
look out for.
returning Nolan Turner, so I like our odds.
That is
Best
true,
maybe a
but
high, 205.
I will say Nolan Turner is a GOAT. I'm not going to go ahead and put that out there. I don't want to say he's the single reason that Clemson beat us in the national championship that year, but I wouldn't be wrong if I did.
Which year?
He balled. He balled out in 18.
Wow.
Which year?
That's cold. That's cold. 18, he balled out. The guy's an animal. I love Nolan Turner. He's a great guy. Stand-up guy.
205.
Unbelievable. He's a monster. But also, Boston, I'm good friends with Fields, and he went on spring break from like sophomore year, freshman year in college. He's a good guy. He can sling that thing. So I definitely think he's gonna, be bringing that juice this year.
Good to hear. I love it.
Yeah, well, we love it. I have one really quick thing for you, Mac. Swag is a huge thing in the Red Zone podcast. It's all about swag first. I have we have posters in our room. It's breathing or swag, breathing, eating, so swag is a huge thing. So I just wanted to ask, what are you planning for your swag first game at Vanderbilt?
It's a good question. Swag doesn't necessarily come to my mind because I always got the sauce, and when you got the sauce and you're running out the juice like I do, you don't got to think about the swag. It just comes naturally. So I will say the way you look determines a lot of how you play. I really do believe in that. I feel like that is something. So just know I'm going to be coming out. That 1-6 is going to be sneaking out. He's going to be out there. He's going to be taking names. So just be ready for it.
All right. We will.
Mac, I got a question for you.
What's up, Clay?
So, from a fellow TikTok star to one, what is your favorite TikTok that you have made?
Honestly, that's a good question. I would need more time to go look at them because I make them on the go. I don't really take a lot of time to make any of these things. It's just kind of like, maybe I should film this. And, I filmed my friends playing spike ball one time. It gets 300,000 views. Like, what? Like, who watches this? No offense to anyone watching it, but what? Like, how does this get that many views? So I don't know if I really have like a favorite one. My favorite one is one that's going to be out in the future. And it could be like in a day. It could be in years. Who knows?
Oh, wow.
Just
the milkshakes.
The milkshakes.
I know Griffin's a big fan of those.
I have tried every smoothie that you've ever told me to make.
You gotten the gains, Griffin? You getting the gains that you want to see?
I am getting the gains, but I also think I gained some weight after I ate all your milkshakes.
Look, Griffin, I'll just tell you, keep on my plan, man. You'll be the number one D end in the country by the end of it.
Perfect. I will keep it on.
Oh.
Mac, we appreciate the heck out of you. Thanks for coming on the show today. This has been great, and we look forward to having you back. Also, we'll be sending you a package of body armors coming to your front door soon. So,
all right, I'll be looking out for those body armors to replenish my nutrients, and all that good stuff y'all are talking about. But also, I appreciate you guys having me on. Y'all doing a killer job. And hey, I better be, able to be left back on in the future. You better let me back on.
Of course, you're a friend of the show.
Thank you. Even Griffin, even after I just completely disarmed your whole entire argument about Wyoming. Don't take it personal. It's just I'm doing my job.
I love it. Thank you. We appreciate you, and thanks for watching, guys.
Appreciate it. I'll see you boys later.
Yeah.